My name is Joseph Carter, and for most of my adult life, I was a ghost inside my own home, a shadow paying rent for the privilege of being ignored, insulted, and used. I wasn't living. I was lingering. Every day under that roof was another reminder that I was only tolerated as long as my wallet stayed open. I used to think if I just worked harder, gave more, and kept the peace, I'd eventually earn my place in my family's eyes. But that illusion shattered one night, the night my father's voice ripped through the air like a gunshot and changed everything. "You're a drain, Joseph," he barked, his whiskey glass trembling in his hand. "You've sucked us dry. You're nothing but dead weight." Those words didn't break me. They freed me. It was supposed to be a celebration, my cousin Leo's engagement party. The backyard was strung with cheap fairy lights, folding tables were loaded with fried chicken, potato salad, and plastic cups of soda. The air buzzed with chatter, clinking cutlery, and bursts of laughter over old family stories. I was there too, playing the part. Pouring drinks. Cracking jokes. Pretending I belonged. For a few minutes, I almost fooled myself into believing it. My sister, Mia, was passing her phone around, showing videos of her new kitten, a tiny gray puffball that stumbled over its own paws. Everyone was cooing, leaning in, smiling. Even I smiled. Then Dad stood up. His voice cut through the noise like a blade. He pointed straight at me. "You've sucked us dry, Joseph. You've been leeching off us for years." The air froze. Uncle Frank's beer bottle stopped halfway to his mouth. A fork clinked against a plate somewhere in the crowd. And my mother, she didn't look shocked or upset. She just tilted her head and tightened her lips in silent agreement, like she'd been waiting for someone to finally say it out loud. But I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I didn't argue. I just grinned. A slow, deliberate grin that said, "You're about to lose me forever." I pushed my chair back, the metal scraping against the patio stones with a screech that seemed to echo. Without another word, I walked away. Past the smell of charcoal. Past the warm glow of the fairy lights. Past the people who had spent years draining me. My room wasn't really a room. It was a corner of the garage, a thin cot, a flickering light bulb, and a rattling window that let in more cold air than sunlight. I had been paying for that space for 7 years. 7 years of covering their phone bills, their gas, their car insurance. 7 years of being their safety net. Mia never paid a cent. She was the flawless daughter who could do no wrong. I was the family failure. I grabbed the backpack from under my cot and started packing. Shirts. Socks. My tablet. My small lockbox with my passport and tax forms. My hands didn't shake. That surprised me. Maybe because deep down, I'd been waiting for this moment my whole life. When I zipped the bag shut, the sound was sharp in the still air, like a lock turning. As I walked toward the back door, Mom was standing there with a glass of wine, her eyes narrowed. "Where do you think you're going, Joseph?" she hissed. I didn't answer. I brushed past her, through the yard where Dad was still ranting at Leo about me, his face red, his glare burning holes into me. I didn't give him the fight he wanted. Outside, the night air was cool, crisp, and electric, daring me to run. My motorcycle sat by the curb under a drooping oak tree. I strapped my bag to the back, swung my leg over, and sat for a moment. That's when my phone buzzed. A text from Mom, "Don't bother coming back." I typed back without hesitation, "Good. I'm done covering your bills." I hit send. Almost instantly, my phone exploded with calls, texts, voicemails. Their anger poured through the screen like acid. I let it buzz. Then I twisted the key, letting the roar of my bike drown them out as I tore into the night with no plan, no map, only the knowledge that anywhere was better than here. Hours later, I pulled into the cracked parking lot of a rundown highway motel I'd bookmarked on a rental app weeks earlier, back when leaving had still been just a fantasy. The manager, a wiry woman with nicotine-stained fingers and a gravelly voice, handed me a room key without asking questions. 15 minutes later, I was lying on a creaky bed with a stained blanket, staring at the ceiling. It was rough. But it was mine. For the first time in years, I felt air in my lungs that wasn't filtered through their demands. By sunrise, I had 71 missed calls. Dad. Mom. Mia. Even Uncle Frank. The messages were all the same: anger, guilt, threats. You selfish brat. You owe us everything. If you don't come back, you'll regret it. We need the electricity bill paid by Friday. Your father's heart can't take this stress. I laughed. A hollow, ugly sound that bounced off the motel walls. Then Mia called. Her voice was low, urgent. They're unraveling, Joseph. Mom's tearing through your old files. She's asking for your social security number. I think she's trying to get into your accounts. A cold knot formed in my stomach. I'd been naive once, back when I thought family meant trust. I'd left enough paperwork in that garage to ruin me if it got into the wrong hands. I hung up and went into full lockdown mode, resetting every password, changing my mailing address to a secure locker, setting up bank alerts. But the texts kept coming. We're close, Joseph. We'll find you. That morning, I answered Mom's call. I'm not sure why, maybe I needed to hear the venom one last time. You think you can abandon us? She snarled. We're broke because of you. Your father's shaking. His heart's racing. My voice was ice. You told me to go. So I went. I'm done funding you. Her tone flipped instantly, sugar-sweet and fake. Joseph, let's fix this. Just tell me where you are. I hung up. Seconds later, Mia texted again. They're looking for you. Mom's on the phone with some guy. I think they hired someone to track you down. The confirmation came later that afternoon when I visited my credit union to move funds. The clerk leaned in, lowering her voice. Someone tried accessing your account 4 times today, claiming to be you. They failed, but they knew your personal details. I froze my credit, added fraud alerts, and left. As soon as I stepped outside, my phone buzzed with a photo, my motorcycle, parked right there by the curb. I scanned the street. A gray pickup idled across the road. I couldn't see the driver's face, but I knew. I started the bike, weaving through side streets and alleys. The truck followed. Finally, I pulled into a truck stop, pretending to refuel. That's when I saw them clearly. Dad was in the passenger seat, his jaw clenched. The driver was a stocky man with a shaved head, Mitch, an old friend of Leo's who was rumored to be bad news. My hands shook as I paid for a coffee I didn't want, all while keeping them in sight. They stayed put until I left. Then they followed again. That's when I made my move. I gunned the bike straight to the sheriff's office and parked in the front lot. The truck slowed, then sped off. For the moment, I'd won. But they weren't done. That night, Mia called again. They're meeting with a lawyer. Mom's telling people you stole from them, saying you owe them back rent, utilities, everything. Joseph, they're desperate. That word stuck with me. Desperate. They didn't just want my money. They wanted control over my life, even if they had to burn me to get it. The next morning, I met with my own lawyer, Elena. She was sharp, calm, and unshakable. I laid everything out, the 7 years of payments, the threats, the attempted account breaches, the stalking. She nodded. You've got evidence, texts, photos, recordings. If they push this, we push back harder. And then came their final attempt. It was late afternoon when I saw the gray pickup roll slowly into the motel parking lot. I didn't panic. I simply stepped across the street, phone in hand, recording as Dad pounded on my door and Mom wailed in fake sobs. Mitch stood off to the side, watching me like a hired thug. The sheriff's deputies arrived minutes later. I walked up, calm as stone, and handed them my phone with all the evidence, every threatening text, every photo, every voicemail. The deputies spoke with my parents briefly, then told them to leave. I watched their tail lights disappear into the dark. And for the first time in years, I felt it, real freedom. Not the kind you daydream about as a kid, but the kind you wrestle from the jaws of those who would keep you caged forever. I'm not a phantom anymore. I'm Joseph Carter. And I will never again live my life for someone else's comfort. If you've ever had to claw your way out from under someone's control, I want to hear your story. Drop it in the comments. Tell the world how you broke free. And if you're still fighting your way out, know this, you are stronger than the chains they put on you. Before you go, smash that subscribe button for more raw, unfiltered stories like this one. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. You never know, your story might be the thing that gives them the courage to take the first step toward their own freedom.